One January evening in Mongolia, police descend on a house in the capital of Ulaanbaatar. Hidden inside, they find an ancient relic stolen from a cave high up in the mountains. In fact, a thief is preparing to smuggle the mysterious object across the border. But when authorities take a closer look, they discover a miracle that will amaze the world. After this 200-year-old mummy of a Buddhist monk was found, academics claimed he was still alive. At around 6:30 p.m. on January 27, 2015, police were called to a property in Sonjanakerkan, one of the 9 districts that make up the sprawling city of Ulaanbaatar. Apparently, the 45-year-old man who lived there was at the heart of a sinister plot. Previously, the man, known only as Enter, had traveled to a cave on Ulaanbaatar mountain, located some 30 miles from Sakar in central Mongolia. And while there, he had made a fascinating discovery. In fact, he'd found the mummified remains of a Buddhist monk, thought to be 200 years old. Enter soon realized that the mummy could be very valuable. Consequently, he removed it from its resting place and brought it back to his home in Ulaanbaatar. And from there, he planned to take it illegally across the border and sell it on the black market. Indeed, by all accounts he believed that the relic would fetch an extremely good price. However, the authorities got wind of Enter's plans and consequently arrived at his property to arrest him. And inside they found the mummy, wrapped up in cowskin. As a result, the man could face a fine of up to $43,000 or even a 12-year jail term. But it isn't the attempted theft of the mummy that has been making headlines around the world. Instead, it is the remains themselves that have been causing a stir. Because, according to some experts, the 200-year-old mummy is, against all the odds, still alive. Bizarrely, some Buddhist authorities have claimed that the mummified monk is not dead. Apparently, he is simply in a very deep state of meditation. Professor Ganhyujin Purevbot, the founder of Ulaanbaatar Buddhist University's Mongolian Institute of Buddhist Art, explained these claims to the Siberian Times. Lama is sitting in the lotus position Vajra, Purevbot said. The left hand is opened, and the right hand symbolizes of the preaching sutra. This is a sign that the Lama is not dead but is in a very deep meditation, according to the ancient traditions of the Buddhist Lamas. What's more, the mummified body is thought to belong to a Buddhist monk named Sorzh Sandzhev. According to researchers, Sandzhev once studied under His Holiness Incarnate Avgan Gesar Lama, who is considered to have been one of the greatest Buddhist teachers of all time. Sometime around 1890, the Gesar Lama died while meditating. His students subsequently embalmed his body. They then carried it by camel to a burial chamber some 6,500 feet above sea level on Ulaanbaatar mountain. Meanwhile, Sandzhev wrote a will, in which he asked to be entombed alongside his teacher. When Sandzhev appeared to die, the Gesar Lama's other students dutifully carried out his wishes. They brought him to the burial chamber, where he was laid to rest in a wooden box. Centuries later, however, some experts began to wonder whether the monk really was dead after all. As improbable as it sounds, some believed that Sandzhev could be in a state of deep meditation known as Tuktum. This Buddhist term is used to refer to the states sometimes reached by great masters after their physical deaths, during which they retain many characteristics of life. It's a subject addressed in Sogyal Rinpoche's 1992 work The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. According to Rinpoche, masters who have reached Tuktum often display characteristics such as soft skin and a lack of rigor mortis. And even though Sandzhev's remains were extensively mummified by the time they were stolen from Ulaanbaatar mountain, some have still speculated that the monk was not deceased but merely in a deep state of Tuktum. Dr. Barry Curzon, an American Buddhist monk and one of the Dalai Lama's personal doctors, claims to have previously witnessed monks immersed in the Tuktum state. Apparently, in the rare case that they are able to maintain the process for more than 3 weeks, their bodies begin to shrink. Usually, in this case people who live next to the monk see a rainbow that glows in the sky for several days, Curzon told the Siberian Times. This means that he has found a rainbow body. This is the highest state close to the state of Buddha. Strangely, it's not the only mummified Buddhist monk to have hit the news in recent years. In fact, in 2015 a CAT scan revealed something incredible inside an ancient statue belonging to a Dutch collector. Bizarrely, the figure of Buddha contained a 1,000-year-old set of impeccably preserved remains. Experts believe that the remains belong to a monk who willingly starved himself to death in a practice known as self-mummification. During the last weeks he would have started eating less food and drinking only water, German paleontologist Dr. Wilfried Rosendahl said in a 2015 interview with The Telegraph. Eventually, he would have gone into a trance, stopped breathing and died. According to Rosendahl, His fellow other monks would have placed the body near a fire, allowing it to dry out. Then, they would have put the mummy on display, probably in Tibet or China. Experts believe that after 2 centuries, the remains began to deteriorate and so were duly interred inside the statue. For the owner, who had no idea that a fully preserved Buddhist monk resided within the statue, the revelation must have come as a shock. But could this discovery shed some light on the mysterious Ulaanbaatar mountain mummy and the claim that the somewhat desiccated monk is somehow still alive? Well, in February 2015, Buddhist eventually retracted his claims, stating that the mummy was, just like the one inside the ancient statue, intentionally embalmed after Sandziv's death. Apparently, experts plan to study the remains at the National Center of Forensic Expertise in Ulaanbaatar before reburying them in the mountains. However, since then few official announcements have been made, leaving the world uncertain about this fascinating curiosity's ultimate fate. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.